Hi friends. I wanted to share some very recent and raw emotions that I'm sure a lot of people are experiencing along with me in the world. I should really put my headset on so that I can make sure that you hear me well. I think these walls are thin. I don't know for certain. And sometimes I get a little bit nervous about people overhearing me, even though it really doesn't matter. I obviously could be having a phone conversation. But yeah, me and my boyfriend we were traveling together. We were exploring life abroad together, decided to end our relationship, I guess yesterday. I was gonna say today because we parted ways today, but yeah, the breakup conversation happened yesterday. And I never wanted to be traveling abroad by myself. I found that out about myself a very long time ago when I was traveling in Australia alone. And I realized that I enjoy having somebody that I'm traveling with to share the experiences with. I know that you meet a lot of people along the way, but that's not the experience that I personally wanted. And there were things that made me feel afraid that this would happen, afraid that I would end up in this situation. And obviously we did end up in this situation. And my initial feelings were, of course, intensely of fear. I felt very scared to be here by myself, very scared to navigate the things that he navigated better than me here. And yeah, just to be alone in this experience when I never wanted to be. And yeah, it's filled with very different but very complex emotions. There's obviously a whole relationship history that I can't even explain right now, and I suppose is mostly irrelevant anyway. So yeah, suffice it to say that this relationship was a unique experience in my life. And I hadn't dated for a very long time before I got into this relationship, and it lasted about a year and a half. But yeah, I'm currently trying to sort through what it is that I want to do, something that I'm struggling with, and I would love to hear if you're also struggling with this in the comments. Is that I feel like I have been riding off of the maybe motivation of others for a while. I lost my way. I haven't really known what I've wanted. Yeah. So, I've been trying to tap back into an exercise that I did a very long time ago, where I'm trying to practice going along with my intuition, not denying my intuition, so as to build trust for myself in myself. And as an example, today when I was eating my lunch, I noticed that my lunch stopped tasting good, being exciting to me, right? That was my intuition saying, maybe we're done. And I gave it a second, I thought about it. Sometimes, I grew up with parents, like a lot of us did, that were, oh, eat all the food on your plate, things that are really unhelpful for establishing an intuitive relationship with yourself. So I started overriding that intuition and would just eat everything on my plate. And that's one of the simple ways that I know I can tap back in, and it is really, really challenging, especially when you're in a position like I am, where there's a little bit of scarcity around money, and for me, that scarcity translates or affects my relationship with eating, how I eat, etc. Not what I eat per se, but more, the relationship of eating everything on my plate. And I may have a tendency to do that more when I'm feeling like money is tight, even though quite literally it makes no difference. You bought that food the moment you made the decision to get it, and how much you eat of it really doesn't change anything within yourself. So I'm trying to focus on myself, tap back into my intuition so that I can get after my wants and desires. I'm still following through with, we had booked a flight together, and our parting was amicable. It was also mutual. And we decided that we're not gonna talk until the flight. The flight's on Tuesday, I think. And then, we're gonna see each other. He expressed wanting to sit next to each other on the plane, etc. And I'm okay with that, at least right now. We'll see if that changes. I think I just, I can't remember if I watched a video. I think I watched a video on YouTube about, I can't remember what the exact topic or title was, but it's relevant here, about shortening the time and distance between, when you decide something and when you execute, not spending a ton of time thinking about stuff. Just really getting down to the nitty gritty. I've also heard this similarly in some other contexts, like somebody saying, I judge a potential business partner when they go out to dinner based on how quickly they make a non-trivial decision, like what you're gonna eat, right? I'm definitely the type of person to deeply, deeply study a menu, and I don't think it's necessary. And it seems so innocuous, but at the same time, it kind of makes me wonder, because this happens so often when you change something small, the ways that small change in life would radiate out. Because it is exhausting spending so much time ruminating on the smallest decision, like what to eat. Why am I so deeply invested in that? Obviously, there's, on the surface level, is what if I make a mistake? What if I don't like what I'm eating? I don't know, who cares? You'll like the next thing, I guess. Eat some dessert that you like. I don't know. I think there are always ways to ameliorate things that come up like that. So, I think that that's also something that I'm going to work on in tandem with that, because I think that that's one of the ways that I talk myself out of my intuition, by overthinking in general, almost every decision. And so I tried to just ask myself at my core, okay, do I want to be here? I don't know. Am I okay with being here? Yes. Okay, great. We're okay with being here. I really value how reasonable it is here in terms of cost. I know that I always have my family as a fallback. I know that I'm never going to be in a bad situation. I know that if my former boyfriend knew that I was in a bad situation, that he would help me. I'm not completely alone in this part of the world. My best friend is in Indonesia. So I'm okay with being here. We had this flight already booked, which, side note, by the way, I do hate booking flights when you don't have to, when you can take buses or trains or other modes of transportation, because it really locks you in. And one of the problems we were having prior to the breakup is that we were kind of locked in, and he no longer wanted to be where we were. And I mean, it did create other kind of side adventures where I am now. I don't know if you pronounce it this way, but I'm in Hue. So that's good, but it's also limiting. So I'm just gonna go back to Da Nang and twiddle my thumbs, basically. Not really, I have a course I'm working through, the TEFL course, until the flight. And then I'm gonna take the flight to Dalat. And I'm deciding to follow through with that because I was actually really super excited about this part of the trip. We've been along the coast this entire time, and I have wanted to go to this mountain town since before we came on the trip. So that's also something else that I'm trying to enliven my excitement and enthusiasm for things. It felt like that was going in tandem with the lack of desire, or lack of feeling like I had my own goals, ambitions, desires, etc. So I'm just trying to figure it all out, and I'm definitely kind of processing it by recording this video. And so those are the things that I do feel certain about. I'm contemplating going to Indonesia. I want to see how I feel while I'm in Dalat, but I am running into this problem that is annoying me, where you really can't, you can book stuff last minute. There are things you can book, but I don't like moving very frequently from hotel to hotel. And the prices are a little bit better if you stay longer. So I would really like to be able to get there, and I only booked something until March 3rd. Their airport closes, and I kind of had the crazy thought of, I don't know, maybe I'll fly to Indonesia March 3rd. I really don't know. But yeah, I'm definitely like a deer in headlights. I'm overwhelmed. I'm just taking this a moment at a time because it's a lot. And I'm really sad. I'm not really feeling as relieved as maybe I thought I might. And yeah, if you're going through something similar, I wish you well. I wish you healing and hugs and support, and I hope you have all of those things. I know I have that, and I know I will be reaching out to the people that support me and hold me and help me. So yeah, that's today's video. Bye.